Golden Lions are coached by John DeRico. He's assisted by Stefan Draskovic, Danny Hernandez, Mike Lacaruba, and Steven Schneider. And now the starting lineup for LIU Post. A 5'10" senior from Randenburg, Norway, number 2, Eric Biorno. A 6-foot redshirt senior from Rosedale, New York, number 3, LaRon Haywood. A 6'2" sophomore from Stavanger, Norway, number 6, Per Forgard. A 5'11" graduate student from Aberdeen, Wales, United Kingdom, number 8, Tom Bowen. A 6'1"
Live from Brookville, New York on the campus
of Long Island University Post, it's time for the East Coast Conference Men's Soccer Championship as the top-seeded Post Pioneers take on the number 3 seed, the Dowling College Golden Lions. Hey there, everybody. Alongside Mike Moore, I'm Kevin Dexter. Thanks for joining us here on ECCSports.org. Mike, we've got a great one here today. Two teams that are no strangers to the ECC Championship. Post looking for their second in a row, Dowling looking for their 12th overall.
Well, as you said, Kevin, these two teams, no strangers to the postseason for sure. LIU Post has been absolutely dominant here on their home field. They have just one home loss here since 2010, and that home loss came against the Dowling College Golden Lions in the East Coast Conference semifinals. That year, the Golden Lions made it all the way to the NCAA Final Four.
And you don't get to this point in the conference tournament without having some great players. Both of these teams sporting them. First, for the 3-seeded Dowling, it's about their defense, tops in the conference and goals against average, and is led by their sophomore goalkeeper, Chris Friedel.
Chris Friedel, no stranger to success here for the Dowling College Golden Lions. No sophomore jinx this year as well. He finished the regular season with 11 victories, and 5 of those victories came via the shutout, but the number that stands out the most for him, less than 1 goal against per game, tops in the East Coast Conference.
And he's going to face a tough offense today. The top scoring offense in the conference by almost 20 goals are the LIU Post Pioneers, and they're led by Ivan Ospo, the conference's Offensive Player of the Year.
Ivan Ospo, as you said, announced as the East Coast Conference Offensive Player of the Year. 21 goals and 52 points overall, both tops in the ECC in 2013. He is definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with this afternoon.
Well, those two guys certainly are players to watch coming up today, and we'll have a good one as the number 1 LIU Post Pioneers taking on the 3 seed, the Dowling College Golden Lions, coming up next here on ECCSports.org. A breezy and a cool day here on the campus of LIU Post as we get set for the ECC Men's Soccer Championship game between the top-seeded Post Pioneers and the 3 seed, the Dowling College Golden Lions. It's chilly here, Mike, but it's really a great atmosphere here at Robert Blitz Field for the ECC Championship game.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to this match today, as you are as well, Kevin, and it should be very interesting to see how both teams are able to adjust to the elements. Obviously, we talked about the success of LIU Post at home over the years here, but Dowling is definitely a force to be reckoned with as well on the visiting side, and the elements will definitely be a major factor today with this wind gust over 15 miles per hour as we speak.
Well, we'll get you the starting lineups for both of these squads as LIU Post, they come in number 1 in the conference, number 14 in the country. They're 16-1-2 this season, and they haven't lost here at home in several years. They are an outstanding squad, outstanding success under head coach Andreas Lindberg in his 5th season. Their starters in net, it's Marco Jorgensen, who has had an outstanding season, second-team all-conference. Along the back, Eirik Bjorno, LaRon Haywood, along with Elvin Lystad, or Carl Lystad, excuse me, and Johan Rundqvist. In the midfield, Matthias Ruiz, Per Forgard, Tom Bowen, and Jonathan Watkin. And up front, Simel Turan, and the guy we talked about at the top, Ivan Ospo.
Yeah, Ivan Ospo, as we said, first in the East Coast Conference in scoring with 21 goals and points with 52. But the thing that also stands out about him, he gets a lot of shots on goal. Number 1 in the conference, 43 shots on goal and 9 game-winning goals as well. So Dowling definitely has to make sure that they keep a close eye on Ospo this afternoon.
Well, Dowling, they come in third in the conference, 11-3-3 overall, 5-2-3 in the ECC. Their head coach, John DeRico, has been here for over 20 years. He's won 11 ECC championships. DeRico leading this team to the 2006 National Championship, 3 times in the Final Four, has had outstanding success as the head coach of Dowling.
269 wins in his career, and the 2006 National Coach of the Year, as you said, the National Championship in 2006 for the Golden Lions, and also 5 Final Four appearances and 11 East Coast Conference championships.
Well, their starters in goal, as we talked about at the top, is Chris Friedel, the sophomore, who's enjoyed an outstanding season, allowing less than 1 goal per game, an 11-3-3 record. Along the back, it's Bobby Craner, Rafael Sorbara, Eric Rosales, and Marcus Thorson. In the midfield, Zach Ogu, Alex Hallis, Jose Herrera, and Roberto Vernaschi, and Sean Collins and Kareem Balthazar are the forwards. Dowling in the blue uniforms, LIU Post in the white, as we're just about set for kickoff here at LIU Post. Thanks so much for joining us on this chilly Friday afternoon in November. There will be Dowling possession to open up. These two teams, how did they get here? LIU Post with a 2-1 win in dramatic fashion against Mercy in the semifinals, and Dowling did pretty much the same thing in their semifinal. Not quite as dramatic, but both of these teams enjoying goals in the final 3 minutes of the game to get here to the championship.
The Golden Lions picked up that victory late in the second half on a goal by Ryan Murphy. Just his first goal of the season, Kevin, and it came with less than 2 minutes to go in regulation, and he was a late substitution by John DeRico. He came into the match with just a little over 5 minutes left, so DeRico has been pressing all the right buttons this season, thus far this season for the Dowling College Golden Lions.
And for the Pioneers, it was a dramatic goal from Jonathan Watkin, the senior from England, who scored with 2.8 seconds left on Wednesday here against Mercy in the semifinals to send LIU Post here to the championship game, as that corner is sent along from the near side by Eirik Bjorno. Bjorno, the defensive player of the year in the conference, 6 players in all on the all-conference teams for the Pioneers this season.
And Kevin, one player that Dowling really has to keep a close eye on besides Osbo is number 7, Johan Christensen. He's kind of the unsung hero for the Pioneers this year. 10 goals, second on the team, and 23 points overall. So, he's definitely one of the other focal points that Dowling has to keep a very close eye on besides Osbo.
Christensen not starting. He will come off the bench, though. The freshman was the rookie of the year in the conference. As a ball sent through, looking for Jonathan Watkin, taken away by the Dowling D, and now on the near side, it's Semil Turin, the 6'4 senior. 2 times was the Conference Player of the Year in 2011 and in 2012, Mike. This year, just a first-teamer after scoring 3 goals and 6 assists in the regular season. And Dowling able to clear it out of their zone, headed back there by number 22, Johan Rundqvist, who will handle it here at left back. Rundqvist up for Per Forgard. His brother Johannes wears number 5. Johannes not in the starting lineup. Per, a sophomore, 1 year older, both of them natives of Norway. Has played up the near side for Bjorno, and will be a throw-in for Post near the flag.
I think as expected here in the early stage of this match, Kevin, both teams just trying to feel each other out and see how they're going to play one another in terms of the offensive and defensive matchups.
Long cross sent through, a little bit too far for Matias Ruiz. Ruiz, a sophomore from Southampton, New York, a top 10 scorer in Suffolk County history during his high school days, and has 5 goals on this season thus far in his sophomore year here for the Pioneers. Hasn't been much possession thus far for Dowling. We've seen almost all of these first 3 minutes being played in the Dowling defensive end. Post continuing possession. Now we get a whistle. And there will be a Post free kick.
Kevin, Dowling is playing their best soccer of the season at the right time. They're unbeaten in their last 9 games, 8 wins, no losses, and 2 ties. And the other impressive fact of that number is that they're unbeaten in their last 6 on the road, 4-0-2. So this is a hostile environment that they're coming into this afternoon, but they know what it's like to walk away with a victory. We said that in the opening.
Yep.
The last home loss for the Pioneers was against these same Golden Lions in the 2010 ECC semifinals.
A low kick sent into the box, now controlled by Per Forgard and pushed out of play, will lead to an LIU post corner. Second corner already for the Pioneers.
See how each team sets up inside the 18-yard line box here, trying to feel each other out. Watch for the left hooked shot by the left foot here.
Sent in low, and nice play defensively to take that away by Alex Hallis. And now played all the way back, nearly a run made by Sean Collins, the freshman forward for Dowling, but a nice defensive play retreating by Jonathan Watkin. Now the Pioneers up the near side with Per Forgard. And a nice ball chipped up for Balthazar on the far side. Kareem Balthazar, one of the top scorers on the Dowling squad. The graduate student from Trinidad and Tobago, 11 points on the season. And the remarkable thing about this Dowling team, Mike, how they've gotten so far, they didn't have any player on the first team all-conference teams, only 2 on the second team all-conference, Balthazar being one, and the other being the midfielder Herrera. Other than that, they really don't have too much of a high-scoring team. It's their defense that has led them to this point in the conference championship game.
Well, not only the defense, but especially the netminder and Chris Friedel, as we said, in his second season. You know, Dowling has bounced back very nicely here. They are not accustomed to losing seasons, and the last 2 seasons under John DeRico were sub-500 seasons, so you knew that this team was on a mission to get back into the ranks of the tops in the East Coast Conference, and they have just done a terrific job this season, and they are rewarded here with this championship final match.
Good opportunity here on a free kick, about 35 yards out for Sean Collins, who sends it in right on Jorgensen and is able to get his first touch. We haven't talked much about Marco Jorgensen, Friedel's opponent in net for LIU Post, the senior from Copenhagen, Denmark. Has had a pretty good year, second team all-conference, 16-1-2 this year, along with 4 shutouts.
You see the shot going straight on there, and Jorgensen well up to the task, making the easy save. And you were talking about it, Kevin. You know, the Pioneers have lost just 1 match all season long, so Jorgensen has 16 wins.
Yep.
Tops in the conference, and he has a goals against average under 1 as well. So 1 goal might prove to be the difference in this match, and we might not even see it. It might have to come down to penalty kicks. Who knows?
Again, Jorgensen was second team all-conference this season after being first team all-ECC in 2011 and in 2012. Each team has had a couple of decent scoring chances thus far, but it's been pretty quiet here through the first 6 minutes and change of the ECC Championship game. Battle for it on the far side. Carl Lystad at right back, wearing number 14 for Post, plays it up. And it's one back on the Dowling side. Nice play there by number 23, Marcus Thorson. Whistle will give possession here to the Pioneers.
Kevin, you talk about how the Pioneers have had such unbelievable success this season with that 1 loss overall. Of the 5 major awards that are given out at the end of the regular season into the postseason in the East Coast Conference, LIU Post was much deserving. They won 4 of the 5 awards.
Yep.
You had Osmo as the Offensive Player of the Year, Bjorno the Defensive Player of the Year, Christensen the Rookie of the Year, and Lindbergh Coach of the Year. So, you know, there is a definite reason why they are the tops here in the East Coast Conference.
And they have a dominant offense, 57 goals in their 19 games. Tops in the ECC. Dowling is tied for 4th with just 33, so that shows the discrepancy and how good this LIU Post offense has been. It's been from players like Bjorno, who here sending across and looking for Turin, who sends it high over the net, but Bjorno playing at left back, really your traditional kind of European style of back that really loves to get up the field and get involved offensively.
And you have a player here, as you see in Friedel, the goalkeeper. You know, there's a lot of pressure put on. He's only a sophomore, so he has 2 more years after this season for John DeRico as their netminder, and he has really just gotten the job done. You know, he struggled last year as well, like most freshmen would, but he was well up to the task this year, and he's just done a great job. And he's been the catalyst to that success defensively for the Golden Lions.
Played in the midfield there by pair four-guard, taken away by Dowling. And beginning a run is Jose Herrera, one of their 2 all-conference players. Herrera, their leading scorer, with 6 goals on the year. He was taken down and will lead to a free kick here from about midfield for the Golden Lions.
And that's the thing, Kevin, you know, everybody talks about Osbo, and deservedly so, with his success in terms of finding the back of the net. Dowling has a better balanced attack, and, you know, they don't have one standout goal scorer, but they have players that just, you know, work well as a unit and get the job done offensively.
Nice defensive play made there by Bobby Craner, coming up from left back to stop the post run, but the Pioneers get possession back here along the back with Lystad. Lystad plays it for the center back, Runquist. Up, taken away by Herrera, back for Runquist. Now it's Bjorno. Bjorno with a nice ball up for Osbo, and now he sends in Simil Turan on a run. Turan inside the box on the left side, cuts it back. Nice defensive play, retreating, but Turan has it on his feet, and real good defense there played by Roberto Vernaschi.
Beautiful pass down to Turan there, and he was able to make a nice move, but a little bit of a defensive breakdown on the part of the Golden Lions, but they were able to hustle back and stop that scoring opportunity.
The 6'2 Vernaschi, wearing number 6, was the guy who got back and stopped the run up the left side from Turan. And now Bjorno. Sent to the center, the shot comes in and fired well high over the bar, but a lot behind that one from Tom Bowen in the midfield. It will be a goal kick for the Golden Lions.
You can hear the frustration to our right of Coach John DeRico there. He thinks that the Golden Lions may have dodged a little bit of a bullet on that shot opportunity. Went well wide, but LIU Post is starting to put on some more pressure here in the early stages of this match.
Frito's goal kick all the way back into the post end. And now the diminutive Jonathan Watkin on it. That's just 5'5", but boy, could he have scored a bigger goal for LIU Post. Again, just 2.8 seconds left in that semifinal against Mercy, and it was Watkin, the senior, who got them here to the ECC Championship game, avoiding overtime to do it.
Well, I think everyone that was here at that match was thinking that that was destined for overtime, and you have to feel a little for Nick Pappas. Pappas made a save, and instead of clearing it like he would normally plan to do with the foot, he had to release it, and he sent the ball. It was a one-off throw that he sent towards the sideline, and LIU Post was able to capitalize quickly with the clock winding down, and they found the back of the net.
An incredible goal by the senior Watkin. Again, to get LIU Post here to the championship game was Watkins' 4th of the season. Senior who played D1 here on the island for Hofstra in his first year before transferring to LIU Post. Now comes Bjorno up from left back, looking to spring Simil Turan, and a nice slide tackle made on the defensive side by Rafael Sorbara.
Excellent play there by Sorbara.
Played back here to Marco Jorgensen, who hasn't seen too many touches, but up for Bjorno. And now in the center of the field to Tom Bowen. Bowen for Turan. And sent all the way back to a touch from Jorgensen. And Simil Turan, a guy who we haven't talked too much about, hasn't had as good of a season as his track record has shown after being the conference's player of the year the last 2 seasons. 14 goals in 2011, 15 in 2012. He's just got 3 this season.
Well, that just shows why LIU Post is doing so well. They have a balanced attack, and you know, there's big expectations for all of those players, but the secondary players and the other players that don't necessarily get all of the recognition are the ones that sometimes play the role of unsung hero in days like today.
Jorgensen sends it long, looking for Ivan Osbo, who really hasn't gotten involved too often here in the first now 13 minutes. Osbo, the conference's offensive player of the year. We talked about his numbers at the top, 21 goals, 52 points, leading the conference in both of those categories, but he hasn't seen too many touches thus far. The Dowling D has done a pretty good job of keeping him in check. I'll go out of bounds on the far side for a Dowling throw. Here's Kareem Baltazar. Taken away by Haywood, and back to the foot of Jorgensen. Played up, nice header there from Ogu, and falls onto the feet of Jonathan Watkin, and Post will look to work it up the far side. Lystad in the center for Osbo, looking for a nice one-touch to Watkin, just couldn't hold it, and falls back on the Dowling D. You can certainly say that even though Dowling has had a few shots thus far, Mike, it's been Post who's had the majority of the offensive chances.
Well, the thing that I like about Dowling right now, and you have to say this in any championship match that you play on the road in a hostile environment here like LIU Post, they've weathered the storm in the early going. Sometimes if the home team behind their fans get that early goal, it puts a lot of pressure on the visitors. So the match remains scoreless, and like you said, Dowling has not really had many offensive opportunities, but give a credit to their defense. They've gotten the job done so far.
And as good as Dowling has been this year, we've talked about the success of LIU Post. At one time this season, they were #1 in the country before their only loss of the year, which came at Post of Connecticut on the road, 1-0. Post was, LIU Post, I should say, was the #1 team in the country. And they've fallen to number 14 currently, but looking to capture their second consecutive East Coast Conference Championship.
Well, this is the third year in a row, Kevin, that they're in the championship match. The last 2 years, they took on their next-door neighbors in the NYIT Bears. And at least this year, they're getting the match at home. Last year, because of the field conditions after Hurricane Sandy, they had to play at a neutral venue, which actually happened to be Golden Lions Field in Brookhaven, the home of Dowling College. So this year they get the #1 seed, and they're able to play a couple of home matches in front of their crowd here, which is key.
Sent out for a Post throw, and you bring up a great point, Mike, and in terms of LIU Post finally getting to play in an ECC Championship game here and having a chance to win on their home field. The last time they've lost here came in an ECC tournament. We talked about it at the top against this very same Dowling team back in 2010. Dowling won that match. That was a semifinal. They won the championship and went on to make it to the Final Four.
Well, there is obviously home field advantage, but when you talk about it here, that really is the case. Since 2011, Kevin, these numbers are unbelievable. LIU Post at home is 25-1-2. Just one loss in their last 28 home matches since 2011. So obviously if you're the opponent, if you have any chance of thinking that you're going to walk away with a victory, you have to play a near perfect match.
Fiorno up the near side, taken down by Herrera. And Dowling, they've sent a few balls in from the midfield thus far, Mike, but haven't been able to get their forwards to run on the end of any.
Well, I think that's going to be the key for both sides. You know, the speed of those wingers on both left and right side, and the front line for each team is expected to do what they need to do, but the defense has really been the key thus far for each squad.
Sent up the far side, and Turin on the end of it for LIU Post. Brings it inside the box. Across, looking for Osbo. Couldn't get it to him. And sent out by the Dowling D. Trying to get on the end of it here is Sean Collins. Back to retreat as Haywood. Jorgensen goes down, has to come way out of his net to play it. Sean Collins, the freshman, putting some good pressure on the Post defense.
And that was the second time in this match there was a little bit of miscommunication. Jorgensen did a nice job. A little earlier as well, he had to come out of the 18-yard line box and clear it. So, we were saying that one mistake could prove to be the difference, but Jorgensen was able to deny it there.
Herrera trying to get on the end of this one. He slips down, and Post going to come the other way on the counterattack.
Herrera slow to get up. See if he's okay. He is.
He props right back up as Runquist goes far side for Per Forgard. And Per and his brother Johannes, both members of this LIU Post men's soccer team. Per is a sophomore, Johannes a freshman. Johannes had started the last 6 games, but not in the lineup today, at least to start. I'm sure we'll see him a little bit later on in the midfield. That's played up the left side, looking for Biorno, and that's taken down by the Dowling D. Now played for Baltazar, being pressured by Watkin. Taken away by Tom Bowen, but back onto the foot of Rafael Sorbara. Sorbara has it taken down by Bjorno. And Dowling seems content here to, when they have it along their back line, just trying to send it long up and clear it out of their own defensive zone, as we just see Ogu do here.
You know, Kevin, the last time these two teams met was in the regular season on September the 18th, and that was at Golden Lions Field. That was a one-goal affair as well, as the Pioneers defeated the Golden Lions 2-1. There were a total of 30 shots in that match, 16 for LIU Post and 14 for Dowling. So far, just 3 shots overall here, so not many opportunities for the offense.
The goal scorers in that one, Simil Turin and Ivan Ospo for LIU Post. Kareem Balthazar was the goal scorer for Dowling. That one ended in overtime on the Ospo goal, 4:22 into OT.
Seems like every time that you talk about a game recap with goal scoring for the LIU Post Pioneers, Ospo is always mentioned.
Ospo scored in 16 of 19 games, and an incredible stat. His season last year was shortened by injury, so he did score in all 7 games he played in last year. So until the game against Mercy, I believe it was, in the middle of this season that he didn't score, he had scored in 20 consecutive games, which is 2 off the Division II record. Ospo, an incredible offensive player, and just in his junior season, believe it or not. So he's got 1 more year left after Post ends their run. Of course, as a top 15 team currently, even if they don't win this match, you have to assume they'd still get some consideration as an at-large to head into the NCAA tournament.
Well, I was talking to John DeRico after the victory against Bridgeport in the semifinals this past Wednesday night, and you know, obviously he wants to win the conference championship to get the automatic bid, but he felt like that was a very big win against Bridgeport on the road to at least, no matter what, tell the committee that Dowling has to be considered no matter what happens today. But of course, on the other side, if you're DeRico, you'd rather get the automatic bid and then not have to worry about that.
And of course, both of these teams, and specifically Post with their top 15 national ranking, and also you bring up a good point with Dowling, both of these teams do have a chance, even with a loss today, to get themselves into the tournament. I suspect that LIU Post will be a lock to get themselves in, but you bring up a good point that Dowling has a case as well.
Well, I actually have to correct myself. I was saying that the East Coast Conference champion gets the automatic bid, but I'm wrong. That's on the women's side, so you know there's no automatic bid for winning your conference tournament. So obviously every single match is big, and that shows why strength of schedule is big as well. And both of these teams know that, and they play very tough non-conference schedule. The East Coast Conference itself is extremely competitive, but their out-of-conference matches for both ends are very difficult as well.
Cross sent in high, too far for Kareem Balthazar, and it will end in a goal kick for Marco Jorgensen as we're over 20 minutes in, and you mentioned, Mike, just 3 shots thus far for either side.
Well, we said in the open that the weather conditions are definitely going to factor in, and the wind has played a role thus far, and I think that this has been as advertised when we talked about it once we came on the air, that the fact that you know the goals are going to be few and far between here this afternoon.
Played along the Dowling back line. And now up the right side. And back for Thorson, now to Ogu. Ogu will send it up, headed by Bjorno, and now to Sean Collins. The freshman with 5 goals, near the top of the Dowling stats this season. Now they get a run for Herrera inside the box, and Jorgensen has to come back. It was a nice defensive play made there by Carl Lystad to get back and cut off Herrera.
Herrera almost had an opportunity there. I think if he was able to split the defense, he would have been able to go one-on-one against Jorgensen, but good recovery there by the LIU Post defensive unit.
And that's a really unheralded part of this LIU Post team. All the talks about their offense with those nearly 60 goals in 19 games this season, but the defense has allowed only 18 coming in. Their goal differential by far the tops in the conference, and the defense is a really underrated part of this Post squad.
Without a doubt. I mean, they're a plus 39 in terms of goal differential, and those 18 goals allowed is tied for 4th best in the East Coast Conference. So, like you said, the focal point is mostly on their offense, but you have to give a ton of credit to Jorgensen and the defensive unit as well.
Taken down by Herrera on the far side. Now for Marcus Thorson.
pants fell down. It's all good. Come on.
Herrera being shadowed by Carl Lystad, able to play it up, and the Dowling offense got something working here. Looking for Sean Collins. Nice defensive play there to pick it off by the postee. It was Runquist who came in. Now he'll spring into the midfield for Matias Ruiz. Ruiz trying to get Turin on the end of one on the right side. Turin able to bring it inside the box. Nice sliding tackle, no whistle. It's pushed out and will lead to a goal kick. They say last off of Semil Turin, so a real nice defensive play there. Sliding back by Sorbara.
Great play there by Sorbara. A little bit of a risk on the takedown. Nothing was called, and now we'll have our first substitution of the match for the Golden Lions.
And it will be Mike Ronenthal, the sophomore from Levittown, New York, a graduate of Island Trees High School.
Ronenthal was an ECC honor roll member in week 5. He had a team-high 5 points, a goal and an assist in a 4-0 win against Mercy, and then he had the game-winning goal in a 3-1 victory against UDC earlier this year.
He comes in to replace Alex Hales. Headed down by the postee, looking for Turin again, but taken down by Bobby Kreiner. Another run by Collins, who I think has looked impressive thus far in terms of being aggressive on the offensive side for Dowling. Here he's putting some pressure on Runquist, who gets it back to Haywood. And now set up the center of the field. Balthazar taken down by Runquist. No whistle on the play, and now John Watkin will start the LIU post offense the other way. Watkin with some nice moves in the midfield, trying to spring Ruiz. Gets it to him, and Ruiz up the right side for Semil Turin. Turin's cross, looking for the head of Ospo, and he got a piece of it, but just sent it wide of the right post.
That was a really nice move there by Watkin coming in, and the official call here is that it was last touched by the Golden Lions, so we'll have a corner kick coming up, much to the dismay of head coach John DeRico.
Yeah, it looked like from our perspective, Mike, that Ivan Ospo was the one who did touch it and headed out of play, but they do rule it was off of Dowling, and it will be Eirik Bjorno to try to send this one in, swinging with the left foot.
And this is one of the things that is part of this potent offensive attack for the Pioneers. I believe that's their 4th corner kick, or 3rd or 4th of the match. They had 146 corner kicks coming into play today, 1st overall in the East Coast Conference. And some people might think that that's not necessarily a big number, but you know, when you're setting up on corner kicks, the defense and the goalkeeper, it creates a lot of havoc inside the box.
It certainly does, and they were by far leading the conference in that category, the only team with over 100 this season, and you mentioned the number of 146, so it shows just how dominant they are in terms of creating those corner kicks and getting their team extra offensive opportunities. A big reason why they were tops in the conference in goals.
It just puts a lot of pressure on the defense, and especially the goalkeeper as well.
Nearly a corner for Dowling, but it will be a throw-in as Chris Pasilico will check in for the first time to replace Kareem Balthazar. Pasilico, a 5'10 junior from Deer Park. Cleared out by Lystad, looking for Ruiz in the midfield. Now played up nicely for Per Forgard. Forgard with a one-touch to Ruiz. Cut off, though, as it's sent out of play by Vernaski. Last off of Vernaski, though, and will stay with post for a throw. Lystad to Ruiz, now a one-touch to Watkin. Back to Matias Ruiz. In the center for Ospo, now out wide, a long high cross sent in, but away from the net comes down to Eirik Bjorno. Bjorno sends another high cross in. That ends up behind the cage, though, of Chris Friedel, who had to make a few early plays on the ball early on in this match, but the last, I'd say, 15, 20 minutes, Post hasn't gotten a shot anywhere near Friedel to test him.
Yeah, he's been, you know, it hasn't been much of a challenge for him, as you said, in the past 15 minutes or so. And really, neither goalkeeper has had a lot of attempts at them. So I really think the elements continue to play a factor there. You saw that shot. The wind took it towards the end, and it went well wide. So let's go. We'll see what happens here.
As Ruiz on it in the midfield. for LIU Post, able to get it to Turin. And again, Turin is having some trouble handling it. A whistle is blown, and we're going to see a card here. It looked like initially the head referee, Jorge Ramirez, was going to issue our first card of the match.
You saw the reaction there of Andreas Lindberg on the screen. He was looking for a card to be assessed, but no card was assessed. John DeRico getting the explanation there. So a big free kick coming up here for LIU Post.
But it's from a real good position here, essentially a corner kick, but from not at the flag, from just on the edge of the 18-yard box.
And with the right-footed shot, you have to watch for that ball to hook in.
Comes towards the back post, and nobody able to get on the end of it. It was a good cross there from Ruiz, and a couple of Post players with their hands on their heads. They know they wasted an opportunity there.
Yeah, that ball got through the box there as we'll look at the replay coming up here.
He replaces number 10, Samil Toure.
So Turin will check out, and we'll get our first look today at the conference's Rookie of the Year, Johan Christensen. You mentioned him as kind of an unheralded player for this Post squad.
Kevin, just watch the replay again here on the free kick. The wall is set up. It goes right through, and looked like somebody might got a piece of it. And it was going out of bounds to the far side. And you could see the hands on the heads of the part of the LIU Post Pioneers. They know that they missed a golden opportunity.
Again, Christensen in now. 4 posts up top. He'll play as one of the 2 forwards along with Ospo. Here comes Bjorno up the left side as he so often does. Sends a cross in, knocked away by Ogu, and will be sent out of harm's way by Rafael Sorbara. Boy, these Post backs, especially Lystad on the right and Bjorno on the left, really love to get up and involved in the offense.
And I think that's going to be a key because they know that they have to be able to go back and recover defensively. And one other thing that I think should be interesting to watch is if either of the teams are going to send their back line up a little more aggressively to try to create scoring opportunities.
Ruiz on it on the far side. Gets it to Jonathan Watkin. A high cross in by Ruiz, looking for the head of Ospo, who sends it to the far post. Now sent in on a cross. The header just over the bar from Christensen. And almost something out of nothing there on a good opportunity from LIU Post.
And I think it looked like the defense of the Golden Lions froze there because they thought the ball was going to go well out of bounds, and the wind kept it in, and it created another opportunity there for the Pioneers. Well, watch the replay here. The ball gets deflected, and then the header goes just high. But that was another big chance, and you could again see the reaction of the Pioneers players, hands on their heads saying, we're knocking on the door here, but nothing just yet.
Watkin in the midfield, looking for Lystad, and a poor pass taken away by Herrera. We'll see if this can start the Dowling Golden Lions attack here. Herrera, though, just plays it out.
That last headshot attempt was by Christensen as he had just come into the match. And Kevin, you're talking about him being the East Coast Conference Rookie of the Year. And we said it before, he was not in the starting lineup, but he's a player that Dowling has to keep a close eye on. When Osborne and Christensen are on the field at the same time, a combined 31 goals and 75 points.
Up the right side. For Post, looking for the run of pair 4 guard. And it will go to Dowling as we're over a half hour in. As you can see on your screen, 13-10 remaining now in the first half. Very few scoring opportunities. More, I'd say, for LIU Post than Dowling thus far, but neither goaltender has really had to make any sort of spectacular saves here in the first now 32 minutes.
And you see there, 4 guard getting a little bit of a calm downs, reference there by the official. Not sure what that was all about, but they were kind of jawing back and forth. So Forgard has to be careful. Make sure he's not assessed a card.
Nice play here by Forgard. The run in the center of the field. Trying to spring through Watkin, who nearly got on the end of that one. A nice sliding play by Friedel to come out to the edge of the 18 and pick that one off.
Beautiful pass by Forgard. I think all of the defensive unit for the Golden Lions was heading towards the left, thinking that the ball was going to go down the left side, and then switching all of a sudden. Beautiful pass in the middle towards Watkin, but coming out and making the nice sliding save there was Friedel.
Where you going? I came for you.
Now Jose Herrera on it, looking for Posilico. It comes down. On the foot of Gronenthal. That's knocked down by Rundqvist.
Stand up! Stand up!
And eventually taken down here again by Rundqvist. Nearly pushed out of play along the near side. One touch looking for Bjorno, and Dowling has a chance here on the counterattack. Sean Collins to the center of the field. And Dowling, once they're getting it here offensively, seems more content about possession than trying to play it up and get a chance inside the box. Played along the far side. That's Bobby Craner in there from left back.
Good job by Craner keeping the ball in bounds.
And he sends a cross through, nobody on the end of it. And Dowling saying it was touched last by post, and that's the ruling they get, so we'll see our first Golden Lions corner.
Again, can't say how great of a job the hustle there on the part of Craner, getting the opportunity, sending it towards the middle, and then the ball was deflected. So we'll see here if Dowling can take advantage of their first corner kick of the match.
Will be Herrera on the near side. Sends a low sweeping cross that gets through almost everybody and rolls all the way out to the other side of the field, nearly out of play, where Christensen is on it. And we'll start the other way for the Pioneers. Christensen looking for Ruiz, but Ogu there to clear it out and well out of play, actually off the surface of the field and across the street. And we'll get a new ball and get back underway.
Kevin, this is the 5th time that these two teams have met in the postseason since 2005, and this is the rubber match. In the prior 4 matches, Dowling has won 2 of the matches and LIU Post has won 2, and not to tease our listeners, but in the last 2 head-to-head meetings in the ECC Championship tournament in 2009 and 2010, both of those matches went to penalty kicks.
Well, we'll see if we have some extra action here on this crisp fall day. To certainly say the least, very windy. A lot of people on the stands, a lot of people here along the sidelines. All the players who aren't in the game currently bundled up. But a lot of these guys out there on the field in just their shorts and t-shirts, braving the elements here in about 45-degree weather, and certainly a lot of wind making it feel much colder here in Brookville. Rundqvist with it for Post up the left side. He's taken down. We get a whistle. Will we see a card here? That's the question.
And Kevin, you start to see the physicality stepping up just a little bit in this match. It was both teams feeling each other out in the early stages, and now a little bit more aggressive, trying to take down the opposition.
Well, no card will be assessed, but again, a real good spot for a free kick for the Pioneers. Will be Ruiz with that right foot, sends it in back post. On the head of it there, or on the end of it with a head, was Dowling as it falls out, and actually they say last touch by the Pioneers will lead to a goal kick by Friedel.
Checking in for Dowling, number 21, Ryan Murphy. He replaces number 13, Jose Herrera.
And here comes Ryan Murphy for the first time in this match, and I was mentioning it to you earlier. Ryan Murphy had that huge game-winning goal this past Wednesday up in Bridgeport, a 1-0 victory for the Golden Lions that sent them into this championship match. It was his first goal of the season. He came into the match with about 5 minutes remaining overall. Just a great substitution for John DeRico, and now, because of that, he's rewarded with an early start in this match here.
Murphy, the junior from Farmingville, New York, and he's only played in 10 games, only about half of the contest this season for Dowling. So he's not typically, as you said, Mike, a regular player on this post squad.
Well, you know, these two teams know each other so well, having played each other once in the regular season and so many times in the postseason, and there's only so much film that you can watch. Sometimes when you focus on the primary players, it's the secondary players that have to step up all the time, and that's what happened this past Wednesday for both teams in their semifinal matches.
Joseph Henton also in for Dowling. He replaces Sean Collins, who I think has been really good thus far in the early going, pressuring the LIU Post backline. A takeaway there by Posilico, able to win possession back for his team. And it's played back to Bobby Craner. Craner up from left back, sends a cross inside the box, and Jorgensen out to glove it down. And up for Ruiz on the far side.
Kevin, unofficially, shots are 5-2 in favor of the Pioneers.
Friedel out of his net to the edge of the 18 to glove that one as well. Neither goaltender really has been tested too much thus far. Each have had to make a few saves, and Post, of course, has had a few nice corner kick and free kick opportunities, but Friedel hasn't been tested to make a big save on either of those.
Ball control is obviously going to be the key here, and I think the ability to switch fields on the spot very last minute will be important as well.
Christensen in a battle up the near side, and last off of Dowling is the ruling. Will lead to a post throw. And Basilico getting physical there with Runquist. Both of them go down, and whistles blow. And now some pushing and shoving here along the near side. Of course, the intensity is well up here in this ECC Championship matchup. It was Runquist for Post and Basilico for Dowling, the two who got a little extra physical there battling for that ball, Mike.
Yeah, and this is what we were saying now. You have to keep your cool here. There's a lot of emotion that's going to be going on in this match, and you have to make sure that the officials here get control. As you see the replay here, both players going at it, and it just looked there like it was a lot of contact, and then it looked like there was retaliation on the part of the Pioneers, so back and forth they went, and looks like the call is going to go in favor of the Golden Lions.
Played up looking for Christensen, who lost his footing a bit and couldn't get on the end of it, and back to retrieve it is Ogu. Now again looking for Christensen is LIU Post up the right side. His cross for Ospo, who's been very quiet thus far. You have to credit the Dowling D on the job they've done. Haven't even really allowed Ivan Ospo to get more than one touch in the first half.
And that's why you have to ask all of the other secondary players of the Pioneers now to take it up a notch because of the fact that Ospo's been so quiet. But again, it's not necessarily the fact that he's not getting the opportunities and not taking advantage. It's a credit more to the defensive line of the Golden Lions.
Christensen looking for Jonathan Watkin. That was taken down by Vernaski and sent up the right side looking for Joseph Henton. Falling down though was Basilico, and able to win it back was Runquist. And after it in the midfield is pair Forgard. That's sent up, where it's taken down by Runquist. And for Bjorno. Now in the center of the field, on it for the Pioneers is Ostbo. Looking up for Christensen, but able to knock it down was Sorbara. And Dowling will work the other way as we approach the closing minutes of this first half, and still a scoreless game without too many scoring chances.
Again, a little bit back and forth there, this time between Henton and Runquist. Second time Runquist has been in a scuffle here. First time it was Basilico and Runquist.
Oh, Runquist getting involved physically from that center back position, and that's something you always ask, regardless of level from your center backs, to be one of the most physical players on your team, and Runquist setting the tone defensively by playing physical against this Dowling squad.
Right, that's his job there. And, you know, as long as it doesn't get out of control and cards are not assessed, basically he's doing what he has to do.
Exactly, and both of these teams have seen their fair share of cards. There was, I believe, 6 cards in LIU Post's win against Mercy on Wednesday, so certainly they are no strangers to trying to be physical, and I'm sure we'll see as this game continues to stay tied, as we head to the second half, it will get even more physical as both teams looking for an edge.
Well, Kevin, it's not quite like Yankees-Red Sox, but you can see that these two teams are establishing quite a nice competitive rivalry with one another. You know, each team wants to reign supreme on Long Island especially, but in the East Coast Conference as well. And you could see that the physicality, as you were saying, is really starting to step up quite a bit in the latter stage of this half.
And both of these teams have been here many times before, as we mentioned at the top. ECC back-to-back championships is what the LIU Post Pioneers are looking for. Dowling looking to have their first since 2010, but looking for their 12th under head coach John DeRico. So they've been here plenty of times before. They've won a national championship. They've been to Final Fours and trying to regain that ECC title and take it back from the Pioneers here on their home field.
You know, when you talk about the East Coast Conference men's soccer over the years, it's John DeRico and the Dowling College Golden Lions that you think of first, but LIU Post is starting to sort of take the reins and say to the rest of the conference that we are now starting to become the team to beat.
Played into the box here by Dowling. Good opportunity. That's blocked before it could get through. Now played back out in front and taken down in the box was Pasilico by Bjorno, and no whistle blown. The Dowling bench wanted that to be a whistle, and if he was taken down in the box there, it would have led to a penalty kick there in the final minute of this first half.
Yeah, and the coaching staff is to our right here for Dowling, and they're not happy with the explanation. Once I heard the whistle, Kevin, I have to be honest, I thought it was going to go against LIU Post, and like you said, it would have been a penalty shot, but the call goes in favor of the Pioneers there.
Oh, maybe the Pioneers getting away with one there, but the Dowling bench. The Dowling bench certainly very unhappy as we get down here into the final 30 seconds.
And Kevin, as the first half winds down here, I think it'll be interesting to see how both teams make adjustments coming into the second half of play.
6, 5,
3, 2, and 1, and that's going to do it for the first half. We are scoreless here in Brookville after the first 45 minutes. The LIU Post Pioneers and the Dowling College Golden Lions playing to a 0-0 draw.
Very physical first half, and neither team able to find the back of the net. Each team had, I'd say, maybe 3 significant scoring opportunities, but the net miners on both sides, Jorgensen and Friedel, have been well up to the task. And like we said, 1 goal may be the difference in this match. We might not even have one. We'll see what happens, and we'll see how each team adjusts to start the second half.
And you can certainly see, as we mentioned, Mike, the physicality of both of these teams. That's only going to ratchet up as we head into the second.
beginning on November 7th.
All right, well, we'll take a break. Again, tied at half. Dowling and LIU Post are scoreless here in the ECC Men's Soccer Championship.
Donate your own sneakers at the Sports Authority in Westbury, New York, and receive a 15% off coupon. All sneakers.
The East Coast Conference is committed to excellence both on and off the field. Member institutions are active in supporting their communities through service and fundraising projects, and our student athletes work hard to achieve in the classroom, preparing themselves for success after graduation. The ECC, home to 21 national championship teams, currently provides 17 championships in 10 sports and is committed to creating a positive game environment for all. The East Coast Conference, a proud member of NCAA Division II.
every possession I pass to Jordan, he passes to our spot. So I try to fill it in with other things, but then I'm like just not going miles or whatever. You know what I mean? Right. But I don't know if that's a good thing either, because it's like you might not want to hear it. But I don't take it as a listen. You want to hear more about like a pass back or something that something obviously really exciting. Or is it better to talk a little about other stuff?
We're back on headset in the truck, by the way. LIU Post and Dowling tied 0-0 at halftime here of the ECC Men's Soccer Championship. Kevin Dexter, Mike Moore with you. Let's take a look at some of the great scoring opportunities from that first half.
Well, here's the first free kick straight on that was taken by the Golden Lions, and Jorgensen was able to make the save. You saw his back foot there go over the goal line, but he was able to be well up to the task there using all of that 6'2" frame. And here was a chance for LIU Post. This was Tehran getting the shot on, and it was deflected, which led to one of the 4 corner kicks in the first half for the Pioneers. They had a +3 advantage there. And here the left-footed shot was taken by Forgard, and then off the header, Christensen unable to find the upper left-hand corner, but that was a nice opportunity there for LIU Post. And then you see a nice move towards the middle again by Forgard, and instead of making the pass down to the left side, he makes a beautiful pass towards the middle of the field for Watkin, but making the sliding save there was Friedel. Ball again is controlled here by Runquist, and you see he was taken down. That's when the physicality really stepped up. Basilico knocks Runquist down there again, and then the two have some choice words for one another, and that's when the other players get in on the scrum and try to break things up. So no card was assessed there. And then we have an opportunity here just outside of the box for the Golden Lions. Balthazar has it deflected, and then here's the play in the box, Kevin, that the Golden Lions thought maybe should have been a penalty kick, and nothing was called there. It looked like it was a collision. And, you know, seeing the replay there going down, it looked like it was Basilico and Bjorno who have a couple of words for one another in the elbow there, but no foul was called. And John DeRico now, as you see here, looking to see what adjustments he has to make in the second half.
Well, there you have it. LIU Post and Dowling still scoreless after 1.5 of play. And a reminder, folks, the ECC Fantastic Fall Follow Contest, brought to you by Sports Authority, is back. All you have to do is follow the ECC Sports Authority and your favorite ECC school on Twitter for the chance to win an iPad mini, your Beats by Dre earbuds, or a $50 Sports Authority gift card. Log on to www.eccsports.org for all contest rules and information. And also a reminder, folks, between November 14th and December 19th, the ECC and Sports Authority are teaming up for a sneaker donation drive. Donate your own sneakers at the Sports Authority in Westbury, New York, and receive a 15% off coupon. All sneakers will be donated to One World Running, a non-profit organization that donates shoes to those in need around the world. For more information, again, visit www.eccsports.org. That's where we are today. Kevin Dexter and Mike Moore here with you. Thanks for joining us throughout the first half here in this ECC Men's Soccer Championship game between the top-seeded LIU Post Pioneers and the third-seeded Dowling College Golden Lions. Mike, we're about a minute or so away from the second half of play. What are you looking for from either of these schools? We'll start with the visiting team, Dowling. What do you think they have to do to try to get on the board here in the second?
Well, I think they have to just stick with the game plan that they had in the first half, Kevin, and just, I think now the wind was in their favor in the first half of play, and now it's going to be against them. So instead of opportunities maybe on the long balls, I think they have to play smarter and, you know, try to create the goal-scoring opportunities on short passes, you know, tic-tac-toe type of give-and-go plays. So, you know, the game plan has worked thus far. They've weathered the storm. You know, they haven't had a lot of opportunities, but they've been knocking on the door, and I think that's just what they have to do here in the second half.
And how about LIU Post, the top team in the conference? They didn't really create too many scoring opportunities. 5 shots, none of them on goal in the first 45.
Well, I think LIU Post just has to keep their composure and continue to play their game. Now, they've had so much success here at home over the years, and they're a #1 seed for a reason, and they're nationally ranked for a reason as well. And, you know, we were saying how quiet Ospo has been in the first half. Maybe try to get him a little more involved, and if the Golden Lions are going to double team him on opportunities, then they have to just try to set up players like, you know, Christensen and the other players, Forgard as well.
Well, both teams are set to begin half number 2 here from the campus of LIU Post in Brookville. It will be Pioneers' possession to open the second half as the two teams switching sides. LIU Post in their whites, attacking the goal to our right. And Dowling in their blue uniforms will attack the goal to our left, so it becomes Marco Jorgensen in goal to our left and Chris Friedel in goal to our right.
Chris, we were talking, Kevin, we were talking about the physicality, 17 fouls in that first half, and John DeRico and his staff were really riding the officials on a lot of those calls. Dowling had 11 of those fouls, so nearly 2-1 the fouls were against the Golden Lions. So we'll see if that factors in the second half as well.
And the physicality, as we spoke about, really started to heat up in the end of that first half. And we'll see if that continues the trend here as we begin the second half. These two teams, of course, have developed a bit of a competitive rivalry, as you mentioned, Mike, and certainly we'll look to ratchet up the physicality as this second half goes on.
And the wind is definitely starting to pick up at its most significant pace right now, Kevin, and that definitely has to be a contributor to how these teams are going to play offensively in the second half. Those challenges and those long balls are going to be the key. And I think both teams just have to work on spreading the field and switching the field every once in a while. They didn't really do that too much. It was kind of a one side of the field affair in the early stages. So we'll see if anything changes here in the second half.
Dowling with the early possession. And they'll work it along their back line for Ogu. Up the right side looking for Collins, who I thought had a real strong first half. Now up to Basilico, who really brought a spark when he was inserted into the match. About 10 minutes left in the first half. He was the one who got into that tussle with Runquist and created a few scoring opportunities. He was also the one taken down in the box in what Dowling thought should have been the penalty kick.
And I think that's the matchup we have to keep an eye on the rest of the way here in the second half. They've been going one-on-one for quite a bit, and you're saying how they were very physical on one of the plays that was called against, I think it was Runquist,
yep.
And you know that's something to keep a close eye on.
This shot sent well high over the bar, and you can really see the wind play an impact on that one as well. Any sort of high crosses, any sort of high opportunities on shots are going to be affected by this wind, and certainly the players have to take that into account.
And I think that's what you have to think of here, Kevin, when you're coming into this second half. You know, easier said than done, but the low-lying shots are going to be the keys. You said that the high shots have been, sailing wide because of the wind. So if you can get some low-lying shots on goal, it's going to be tough on the goalkeepers because they have to make sure they secure those soccer balls and don't create rebounds and second chance opportunities.
Played in the center of the field now for Bowen. Looking up for Christensen, but too far for him, and it will roll all the way to where Friedel can get to it.
And just getting back to Friedel, Kevin, last year we were saying that Dowling had just 2 wins as a team, a rebuilding season. There was a lot of injuries, and that could have really had a devastating effect on Friedel, but he has really responded in his sophomore campaign very impressively.
Played up in the air and taken down by Bowen. 4 posts now for Lystad. Up to Osbo and ahead for Christensen, who gets on the end of it. Here comes the Rookie of the Year, Johan Christensen. That's crossed, though, swept out of the box by Ogu. Taken down by Bowen. And it's Posilico once again for Dowling. That was a good pass up for Christensen, who was able to get on the end of it, but just could not send the cross through. And now down on the field, waiting for a whistle here, I believe, is Carl Lystad. As he's struggling to get up, now he will get the whistle. Lystad holding, I believe, his right ankle.
And getting back to that last opportunity there for Christensen, that was a great job by Bobby Craner. Craner, a sophomore, so he was trying to go one-on-one, and he matched Christensen stride for stride. He was able to get back and recover. If Christensen can get a little bit of a head of steam and get an extra step there, he has a one-on-one opportunity against Friedel, but Craner on that back line was able to match him up on that task.
Lystad is up and limping off. Again, it looked like his right ankle that was the area that was bothering him. Clock stopped at 41:34 to play.
Kevin, the Pioneers came into this match first in shots per game, just under 19 shots. So Dowling has done the job, allowing just 5 shots overall. But like you were saying, 5 shots, no shots on goal.
Yep.
So that's a major factor thus far. If you're a goalkeeper, obviously the saves are important for you, but if the shots are high in number, if they're not necessarily shots on goal, there's no worry for the keeper.
Played for Herrera on the far side. Herrera, the leading scorer for Dowling. All ECC second team performer. He's been quiet as well. Back for Ogu, who will send it out up the right side looking for Collins. It's headed down and out of play by Bowen. And leads to a throw-in for the Golden Lions. As you talked about at the top, Mike, the way this game is going, it looks like it might just be one goal that'll do it here. The two teams that have outstanding defenses, post offense, of course, the best in the conference, but the way this Dowling defense is played, it's going to be tough to see which one of these teams is going to get the first scoring chance and who can capitalize on it.
The majority of this half has been played on the far side of the field, Kevin.
And the speedy John Watkin trying to spring free. Foreguard on the right side. Foreguard shot is knocked down by Friedel. The first good scoring opportunity for Post, and their first shot on goal coming from Per Foreguard.
Foreguard got a nice little run there on a beautiful ball sent over to him, and he had that booming right foot. But Friedel, ready and willing there, denying him first shot on goal unofficially for the Pioneers here in this match.
And I think that was just the placement by Foreguard, shot it right into the wheelhouse of Friedel. But here comes Per Foreguard again up the near side. He's double teamed and still able to play it up for John Watkin inside the box, but the flag goes up and the diminutive Watkin was offsides.
Fancy footwork there on the part of Foreguard. You said he was double teamed, and then he saw that and has great field awareness, sent the pass down, but the offside flag went up as Watkin just a little too far there, immediately called by the official. But that was just good communication there between Foreguard and Watkin. We'll see if that continues here in the second half.
You haven't seen much again of Ivan Dospo, the conference's offensive player of the year. Leading the conference in goal scoring and in points. He's got maybe one touch thus far in this game, wearing number 9 for LIU Post, that high center forward who's been so effective all season. Dowling's done a real good job of keeping him out of play.
Well, that's the thing. Obviously, the scouting report for any team facing LIU Post is the fact that they have to keep an eye on Osbo. Easier said than done all season long. Nobody has really had an answer for him. And even in the last head-to-head match that these two teams played, Kevin, Osbo had a goal.
Collins with the cross into the box, ahead on it there by, I believe it was Gronenthal who got the touch on it, and Jorgensen able to make the save. And Jonathan Watkin will send it free looking for Osbo. Ogu got his head on it, up to Herrera, and taken down by Bjorno. Eirik Bjorno with some space. A nice, neat ball ahead looking for Osbo, who couldn't get it down, and it will be sent out by the Dowling D.
You have to give a ton of credit to Ogu, the junior from Gambia, and he has had a strong match on that back line thus far for the Golden Lions.
Bowen looking up the left side for Bjorno, and that was taken down. And Bjorno is caught deep offensively, giving a good opportunity here for Dowling to work up the right side of the field. Setting it in the center. That was taken down. Nice defensive play by John Watkin. And coming the other way are the Pioneers. Watkin in the center of the field. Plays it up for Osbo. Osbo back for Watkin, and he had a good opportunity there at the edge of the 18, just couldn't take it down. Nice one-touch pass there from Ivan Osbo.
That time Dowling had to recover defensively, and they were able to do so. Watkin coming down the middle.
The wind really picking up here in Brookville. Starting to get chillier, though the sun has peaked out here on this cold November day, the ECC Men's Soccer Championship. Herrera has that one knocked away by Ruiz in the midfield that will lead to a Dowling throw.
Kevin, I think it's going to be interesting to see. Now, obviously there is a ton of time left in this match, and you wonder if Dowling is going to change up their game plan in the later stages here and possibly move those back line players up to try to create those scoring opportunities. And you have to have a lot of confidence in your back line players in order to do that.
In the box, the header falls just away. I think Jorgensen got a piece of that one. It was Posilico who got his head on it, and Marco Jorgensen just pokes it free out for a corner.
And that's why he's one of the best here. You see the shot coming in, and the header comes up, and Jorgensen had to punch it away. And Kevin, it looked like if he wasn't able to get a piece of it, that might have been the first goal of the match.
Posilico, who's really given a spark to the Dowling offense, with a good opportunity there, but it leads to a Golden Lions corner, their second of the match. Looks like this one's going to come in back post. As the high-in swinging kick just a little bit too far, and it's headed away. A nice play there along the back line by LaRon Haywood. Haywood gets it out of harm's way, but still pressuring here are the Golden Lions. It's taken down by Joseph Henton, and he is taken down by Christensen. Oh, the whistle on the shot that hit the side of the net, and quickly working the other way are the Pioneers. Bowen for pair foreguard. Foreguard for Ospo. Ahead for Ruiz, and the flag goes up as Ruiz and Watkin were both offsides.
Golden Lions been screaming for that, and Kevin, it looked like it was a little bit of a delayed flag that went up. I thought maybe that the players were going to be onside. Everybody froze, and that's the one thing you have to be careful if you're Dowling. Obviously, you cannot, you have to play the whistle. I think that was a dangerous move on their part. Obviously, the flag went in their favor, but they just stopped. They stopped assuming that it was going to be offside, and it was, but you have to make sure you keep playing until you hear that whistle.
Balthazar comes back for Dowling, replacing Joseph Henton, who's done a pretty solid job offensively for Dowling as a substitute. This one's sent into the box. Taken down by Ruiz for post, and a nice touch to spring Christensen. Christensen taken down in the midfield, and that'll draw a whistle.
Tackle, Roberto.
We'll see if this is a first card of the match, and it will be. A yellow card is issued on the slide tackle to Roberto Vernaski. And again, our first card, and will lead to a post free kick.
Hey, let's turn around, match up.
Not that bad of a tackle there on the part of Vernaski. You give a lot of room to Christensen, and who knows what he can do. Now, the foul goes in favor of the Pioneers, but they have a free kick here right over the midfield stripe.
As Bowen will send it in. Taken down by Runquist, now out for Ruiz.
You never want to say there's such a thing as a good foul there, but he might have been thinking to himself that he was going to get beat, and the only way to recover was to knock the player down.
Attaboy, Zach.
Played back now on the feet of Balthazar. Here comes Kareem Balthazar. All ECC second team performer for Dowling. Up for Posilico up the near side. Now Posilico enters the 18, the cross taken down by Bowen and swept out of the danger area.
Good job there by that triumvirate of Balthazar, Posilico, and Bobby Craner.
Give and go by Foreguard and Ospo, and offsides once again was John Watkin. The third time post has been flagged for an offside already here in the first 10 minutes and change of this second half, and that was a golden scoring opportunity if Watkin just would have held up for another second or so.
And, give credit to the Dowling defense there. They know exactly where the front line players are, and they stop. It's kind of a gamble because you have to make sure that the referee puts the flag up.
Right.
And obviously if there's no call there, you have an easy breakaway, but, part of it is knowing where you are on the field.
Jorgensen has to come out of his net to play that one, but quickly up for pair Foreguard. Looking in the center for Ospo again, back to Foreguard. Up the right side now for Lystad rather. For Foreguard, looking up ahead for Watkin though, nice defensive play, taking it down by Vernaski, and up to Posilico. Taken down though by Runquist. And Runquist up from his center back position. He's taken down. No whistle blown, and actually will be back to the Golden Lions.
Good job there by Thorson taking him down. Nothing was called, kept possession, and Golden Lions sent it down the far end of the field.
And Bjorno retreating to play this one out of bounds and leading to a Dowling throw.
We keep talking about it, Kevin. I think it might have to come down to one mistake that's made, and if the opposition can take advantage of it. But you have to say that each team has really been playing mistake-free soccer for most of this match, and that's why we're still scoreless.
Watkin up for Lystad, a run from right back. The cross looking for Watkin, headed away by Ogu, and he's able to keep it in play as Baltazar works back and avoids the corner. Heck of a defensive play there from Ogu getting back.
Again, another great job by Ogu. Seems like we've been talking about him quite a bit here in this match.
And both benches erupting as it was Vernaski and Forgard who got into it a bit there, and the officials going to talk it over with them. But this game's certainly getting physical and starting to get chippy here as we approach the 60th minute.
Vernaski and Forgard there.
Christensen subs out, and C-Mill Turon will check back in along that forward line for LIU post. And it will be a goal kick here for Chris Friedel.
One thing you do have to say about John DeRico is that he's very energetic on this sideline here for the Golden Lions to our right. And, he does his best to ride the officials, but, it works. They really sometimes, they know that he's a seasoned veteran. He's not a rookie. I mean, he's been around for 23 seasons. Yep. So when he speaks, they take a good listen, and they let him, say as much as he can until, they tell him that's enough.
Cross sent in a little bit too high. The wind certainly took that one down. As Mike, you mentioned before, the wind starting to play a factor, especially on the trajectory of some of these crosses. And a whistle here on LIU post, and they are unhappy with head referee Jorge Ramirez. The whistle on the foul against the Pioneers, and this is going to be a golden opportunity free kick for Dowling, as a whistle blowing the clock dead here by Ramirez.
Vernaski again, the victim of the foul called there. And it looks like the player down is Thorson.
Thorson getting up.
John DeRico getting the explanation, seeing if there was going to be a booking here. And I think it might be against Vernaski, but against let's see here actually.
I didn't see Ramirez take
Forgard. I think it was Forgard. Forgard, I meant to say.
Goofy.
So we'll see what the official ruling is, if it was a card or not. But regardless of the fact on whether it was a card, this is a golden opportunity from just outside the box. A free kick going to be taken here by Marcus Thorson.
And Kevin, the wind has died down significantly, so he can get a high shot maybe towards that upper right-hand corner against the 6'2" Jorgensen.
Thorson sends it right into the wall, and it's taken down by Ruiz. Could not get it up and over the wall of Ruiz and Watkin. They're just on the edge of the 18 for the Pioneers.
Well, they had to play back 10 yards. Obviously, you have to give the 10-yard rule, but that's why you set up the wall there, and they were able to get the job done. And that's an opportunity that goes awry for the Golden Lions.
Lystad,
Good work, Chris. Good work,
four-pair Forgard, and up to John Watkin. Watkin, the hero of the semifinals, trying to do so again here in the championship game. Up for Forgard inside the box. Ogu able to play it out of bounds, but it will lead to a Pioneer corner.
Good one-on-one matchup there between Forgard and Ogu. Ogu again getting the step and was able to knock the ball away, but a big corner kick opportunity coming up here for the Pioneers.
Usually Bjorno will take these set pieces for post, and it will be him again with the in-swinging left footer to the back post and punched away by Friedel before able to be cleared by Thorson. And the shot from Ruiz sails high over the bar. Good opportunity there for post. Friedel, after he punched it, it kind of laid around there in the box, and Thorson was able to clear it away from the front.
Well, that's why Friedel has that 0.80 goals against average, best in the East Coast Conference. He got a little bit of a piece of it. The ball stayed inside the box, but right place at the right time was Thorson. He was able to clear, and then the shot then came on well wide, and the Golden Lions get the goal kick.
Friedel up for Craner. That's headed down by Bowen, but right on the foot of Collins.
Good shot.
Sean Collins looking for Baltazar. goes out of play.
And Kevin, you really have to continue to give a ton of credit to Chris Friedel. I mean, we were talking about it earlier. You have Jorgensen on one side. He's a senior, so he's a seasoned vet.
Yep.
He knows what it's like to play in these types of games. But Friedel's only a sophomore, and after that rough freshman season, he's doing really well here, not only today in this pressure-packed game, but all season long for the Golden Lions.
Friedel with a goal kick out, and this game's starting to get chippy as there again John DeRico calling for a foul on that last play from post. Not taken down by Herrera. Herrera, though, loses it after being pressured by Ruiz.
Kevin, John DeRico is begging for the Golden Lions to try to switch fields here. Obviously easier said than done, but yeah, Bobby Craner streaking down the left wing side. If he can get an opportunity here, it doesn't look like any of the Pioneers players are focusing on him.
And Watkin up ahead for Turin. No flag up. Can he keep it in on the far side? And he can. Good opportunity here for the Pioneers. Turin with the cross, looking for Ostbo, who's able to knock it down to Ruiz and blocked away by Thorson. Now Watkin looking for Turin, and Herrera able to clear the zone. Another good scoring opportunity, though, for LIU Post. They're not able to convert.
It seems like the two players that we've been talking about defensively for the Golden Lions in the second half have been Ogu and Thorson every single time. Thorson's just a freshman.
Those are the two center backs on this Dowling squad, and we talked about the tone that the center backs on either side have to set physically, and they have done so, certainly here in the second half as well. And the Pioneers, if you've noticed here, Mike, have gone to more of an offensive style with just three in the back, as the left back Bjorno, as he so often does, likes to get up offensively. Here he's not even back there, pretty much just playing with their two center backs, and Brunquist and Haywood back, along with Bowen, more of a defensive midfielder, allowing a Bjorno to get up on left side and try to create some offense.
Well, the thing I like about that, Kevin, is the fact that I really think that with now 26 minutes remaining in regulation, LIU Post is being a little bit more aggressive in terms of bringing their backline players up. Now, we've been talking about it throughout. They've had success all season long. In all likelihood, no matter what happens in this match, they're getting an invite to the NCAA tournament. That's pretty safe to say. So knowing that, and knowing that you don't get the automatic bid by winning the conference championship, maybe you're a little more aggressive later on here in the second half, as opposed to the Golden Lions, who, you know, win or lose, are probably on the bubble right now.
Yep.
Anything can happen. So that could factor in just a little bit. You could see that Dowling might still be a little more conservative on the back line in terms of bringing the players up, and maybe a little more liberal for LIU Post in terms of their backline players aggressively coming up and creating scoring opportunities.
And again, LIU Post currently sitting number 14 in the country. Dowling not ranked, and they do have a case, win or lose here, for an at-large bid. But again, win or lose for LIU Post, they will almost guaranteed be in that NCAA tournament come next week. A shot by Craner sails high over the bar of Jorgensen, and will lead to a goal kick here. As we're about 20 minutes into the second half, into the 66th minute here in the ECC Men's Soccer Championship. Still no score between the LIU Post Pioneers and the Dowling Golden Lions.
And the flip side of that point that I was trying to make, Kevin, about LIU Post, though, is the fact that you know how much of a prideful team they are. They want to be back-to-back East Coast Conference champions.
Yep.
You know, if they're going to get a bid into the NCAA tournament, but when the selection committee comes and announces the pairings, you want them to hear LIU Post as the East Coast Conference champions.
Yep.
So, you know, it's 6 1/2 dozen of the other, and just see what happens.
Ruiz with a takeaway here, looking to spring Turin up the left side, and the flag goes up just offside with Simul Turin. He does not like the call. Again, LIU Post for the fourth time in this second half offside on through balls, trying to play players through on the forward side.
I think Turin could make an argument there, as you see, trying to get the explanation from the official. That was a very late flag that went up, and Turin had a lot of room to create the opportunity there if he did not have the offside go against him.
Again, the fourth time the Pioneers called for an offside violation here in this second half. Chasing after it is Baltazar, but a nice play made by Lystad. A grab of a jersey there, I believe, on Baltazar will give possession to the Pioneers.
Kevin, shots are now even at 8, but the Pioneers have just 3 of the 8 shots here in the second half for them. Dowling has had 5 shots on goal in half number 2, so they've definitely had more chances.
Yorno up the left side for Watkin. Back to Ruiz, who is taken down, and no whistle.
It's a card, ref.
The LIU post bench pleading for a card, but will not get the call. Ruiz back on it. Looking for Watkin, just a little bit too far for him, and Baltazar back from his forward spot to play it down.
I think that was a good no call there, Kevin. Play on said the official, and I think the player there, Forgard, was trying to sell it a little more
Let's go, Chris.
on the foul with nothing called.
Lystad prepare Forgard.
Go, Bobby. Yeah, Bobby.
And Forgard back to Lystad, up from right back. Crossed into the box and taken away by Ogu. Sends it high in the air and down on the foot of Ruiz. A whistle blown, and it's a foul on Lystad, and will lead to a Dowling possession near on their own end.
Good job there by Ogu, clearing it with the left foot, and obviously he was trying to control the shot there. And the wind, which is going left to right now in favor of LIU post, really ate up that ball that was hit up in the air, but then the foul went against the Pioneers, so the Golden Lions were able to get control.
The wind continuing to pick up here in the second half on this cold, crisp day, and it would be cold even without the wind, but certainly making it even colder for us and for the players here on this fall day in Brookville, the ECC Men's Soccer Championship. And sent out of play there by Gronenthal, and John DeRico pleading for a corner, saying it was last off of post, but the ruling is a goal kick for Marco Jorgensen, as Joseph Henton is back for Dowling, and he'll replace Baltazar once again.
Just saw a shot of Coach John DeRico sitting down, I think, on the sideline for the first time this match here, Kevin. He's been on his feet quite a bit. Looks like he needs a breather as well.
Jorgensen with a long goal kick, and Mike, you brought up this point a little bit earlier. The way the wind is blowing here, it's coming in the direction where post is attacking, more from left to right across your screen. So the wind is behind the Pioneers and almost in the face of the Dowling Golden Lions as they attack.
And the other thing that both goalkeepers have to keep a close eye on, which is something we haven't mentioned because of the fact that the wind conditions are the key, is the sun. The sun is a factor as well on some of those high shots. You have to shield your eyes and make sure that you're very careful in terms of how you're going to react to a high ball that's in the air, and you have to, know that the sun is going to be a factor as well. So you have the sun and the wind both being key elements here this afternoon.
Yorno down with it on the far side.
Watch behind, Bobby. Watch behind. You know where he's going.
For Per Forgard. Now in the center of the field. Sent out wide for Ospo, trying to get on the end of it. Down goes the goaltender, Friedel. No whistle, and Friedel looks a little banged up as he did almost a somersault there, as Ospo had taken his legs out from underneath him, and Friedel slow to get up in the box.
And the official right in front of us explaining to Coach John DeRico there, much to his dismay, saying that they both went for the ball. Now the ball was going to sail wide because of the wind, but Ospo wanted to hang with it and try to make a play, and he went after it right at the same time that Friedel did, and they both kind of collided, but Friedel looks like he has taken the worst of it. Good job of sportsmanship on the part of Ospo. We'll see the replay coming up here as you see pass towards the middle off of the give and go, and then the cross down the right side, and coming on it was Ospo. And I think the argument there, as you can see, that Coach John DeRico is making, is that Ospo took out Friedel after the ball had gone out of bounds. You can see there on that replay.
Well, Ospo, again, as the officials rule, was trying to make a play on it there, and as he was sliding for it and up and over him went the goalkeeper Friedel, and he's banged up, of course, as you saw in the replay there, kind of landed at an awkward position almost on the back of his neck as he came and did what was looked to be a somersault. So he's getting some water and being checked out by the Dowling training staff here, as we do have a stoppage with 20 minutes and 1 second remaining. And we'll take a quick break here as Friedel gets some water.
The East Coast Conference is committed to excellence both on and off the field. Member institutions are active in supporting their communities through service and fundraising projects, and our student athletes work hard to achieve in the classroom, preparing themselves for success after graduation. The ECC, home to 21 national championship teams, currently provides 17 championships in 10 sports and is committed to creating a positive game environment for all.
Chris Friedel is back up and okay and remaining in the game. Here's we are scoreless, less than 20 minutes to play in the second half in the ECC Men's Soccer Championship. A reminder, folks, the ECC Fantastic Fall Follow Contest brought to you by Sports Authority is back. All you have to do is follow the ECC Sports Authority and your favorite ECC school on Twitter for a chance to win an iPad mini, your Beats by Dre earbuds, or a $50 Sports Authority gift card. Log on to eccsports.org for all contest rules and information. And ball out of play will go to the Pioneers. There's both teams looking for some offense, and Mike, just as we talked about, the physicality as it kind of ratcheted up at the end of the first half, it's certainly picking up here as we get to the latter stages of this second half.
17 shots on goal combined, 9 for the Golden Lions and 8 for the Pioneers. But it has been very physical, as we saw. We had to go to break because Friedel was taken down by Ostbo. And you know, you wonder how much each of these teams has left in the tank here. It'll be interesting to see what substitutions each coach makes throughout the late stages here, trying to get some fresh legs out there for both sides.
Cross center of the box and headed away by Gronenthal. Will be a goal kick for Marco Jorgensen, who hasn't had to touch too many shots at all, especially in the second half. Hasn't been tested very much, has the senior goalkeeper.
No, he hasn't. And again, we were just saying how it's a testament to both teams defensively, how they've just done a terrific job, not only today, but all season long.
And we've seen head coach Andreas Lindberg for LIU Post keep a really short bench. John DeRico has sent a few subs in, but I believe just one substitution thus far for the Pioneers in this one, playing his veteran players and his most experienced guys here in this ECC Championship, trying to create some offense here late. Biorno on the far side plays that one out. It will be a throw-in here for Herrera. And Mike, you brought it up earlier. I wonder at what point left in this match do these teams start to take some gamble to try to create some offense here before you inevitably play 0-0 into overtime.
Well, as you can see here on the computer screen, 17 minutes, a little over 17 minutes remaining, so it's definitely late.
Off again.
Watkin for turn, and again he is offsides the 5th time in this second half. LIU Post has gotten the flag thrown up on him for an offsides.
So one side of the coin, you look at it and you say that there's too many offsides flags going up on their part, but the other side of it is the fact that they're putting pressure on. They are being a little more aggressive. You know, 5 is a big number, but at least it means that they're sending the long balls down and trying to create opportunities by winning challenges. So I guess it depends on how you look at it from either end. We haven't had many offside call against Dowling here in the second half.
Sent up near the box. Ball won by Collins and taken down here by Herrera on the edge of the box. His cross coming through right into the chest of Jorgensen, who will quickly get it out, prepare Forgard up the near side. Forgard for Ostbo, touching it up to Forgard up the right side. He's got some space. Craner is trying to chase him down from behind. Forgard inside the box, and coming over to clear it away is Ogu. And we'll take a look at the replay here. I think that is going to be a throw-in here. Didn't get out for a corner.
Last shot that was coming in here off of the header. On the replay, the shot that was taken by Herrera.
As it's Forgard battling for it on the near side. That's played out.
You're killing this.
Last off of Dowling. Now it's Ostbo looking for Watkin, just a bit too far for him, and Friedel able to scoop it up.
Kevin, that's another thing that I want to mention here. Bobby Craner, the back line on that left fullback side for the Golden Lions, you have that matchup that he's been having against Christensen and players like Christensen and Forgard, and you talk about how he could be a little more aggressive maybe coming up like we've seen, and it's risk-reward. That last time he fell behind, and Christensen had a nice opportunity. It was actually Forgard who had a good opportunity, but the confidence that Craner has to move up and maybe move into the offensive attack zone is the fact that he knows that he's got a teammate in Ogu who will help him on the recovery situation, like exactly the way he did there. It allows you to have confidence to maybe cheat up a little more than you normally would. Ogu has been terrific this afternoon.
He certainly has at center back for Dowling, as getting set to check in for the Golden Lions is the hero from Wednesday. Ryan Murphy came in with just over 5 minutes to play, scored the goal with less than 3 minutes to go to send Dowling here the 1-0 victory over Bridgeport up in Connecticut to send them here to the championship matchup with LIU Post.
And that could be what happens here. You know, who's going to play the role of the hero? It might be an unsung hero, one of the secondary players, as it was this past Wednesday night for the Golden Lions.
As Murphy will come in and replace Chris Posilico. And the hero for LIU Post, of course, on Wednesday was the senior Jonathan Watkin, who with 2.8 seconds left gave the Pioneers a 2-1 lead, and a score they would eventually win by over Mercy and catapult them here into the championship game.
We were covering the game against Bridgeport for Dowling in the semifinals.
As it's set up ahead on trying to get a run on it here for Dowling, and the shot by Henton is kicked away. A nice defensive play made by the center back for LIU Post in LaRon Haywood. Sent back up the other way quickly by the Pioneers and taken down by Ruiz. Ruiz for Watkin.
Just getting back to that point, Kevin, about the game that was covered this past Wednesday night up in Bridgeport between the two-seeded two-seeded Purple Knights and the three-seeded Golden Lions. You know, we were saying how dramatic a goal that was scored for Dowling by Murphy with less than 3 minutes to go. Meanwhile, Chuck Sadowski, Sports Information Director for Bridgeport, to my right says, well, I got one better than that. And then he told us about the situation here with 2.8 seconds left. Yep. So just two fantastic one-goal finishes in the semifinals. But we're yet to find a goal scorer here this afternoon.
As we approach now the final 12.5 minutes of this contest, the ECC Men's Soccer Championship still scoreless, limited scoring opportunities for both sides. It's been the good defense of Dowling and historically the great offensive Post, but the Pioneers haven't been able to break through. It was 2-1 in overtime, a Pioneers win when these two teams met in the regular season. That was at Golden Lions Field in Brookhaven. Sent ahead for Henton, and he is offsides as the flag goes up and will be Pioneer possession. Bowen up ahead for Ospo, touches it to John Watkin. Watkin prepare foreguard, up the right side for Watkin, able to get on the end of it, now tries to make his move. The senior Watkin to Lystad. Lystad in the center for Bowen. Chips it up far side looking for Turin. Now Semel Turin to Bjorno. The high cross to the back post to Ospo's head, who gets on the end of it. Ivan Ospo, the conference's offensive player of the year. The first tally here in the ECC Championship. The Pioneers take the 1-0 lead.
Beautiful goal there that was scored by Ospo. And it's a huge one here with under 11 minutes remaining, and you could only keep the sleeping giant, you know, at bay for such a long period of time as he picks up his 22nd goal of the year. We'll see the replay here. The ball is sent on the far side and keeping it inbounds. A beautiful cross towards the middle, and Friedel backing up onto the far post, but Ospo was right there and he was able to head it into the back of the net to give the Pioneers the 1-goal lead. Just a beautiful play all around by LIU Post. You saw Ospo hungry going towards that far right side, and he was able to head it past a diving Friedel to give the Pioneers the 1-0 lead.
Well, the defensive and offensive players of the year combine on that one. Bjorno, the defensive player of the year, picks up his 7th assist. Ostbo, the conference's offensive player of the year, picks up his 22nd goal. And with just over 11 minutes to play, the Pioneers have the 1-0 lead here in the ECC Men's Soccer Championship. Can they hang on to it, and how much of pressure does Dowling put on LIU Post defense here, trying to get aggressive to even up the score?
Well, now I think if you're down, you definitely have to start pushing those backline players up.
Turin looking for Forgard, and well out of his cage to play that is Chris Friedel. And I think we're going to see an offensive-minded substitution here from John DeRico. As Chris Postilico is getting set to come back in, and I'd imagine he'd come back in for one of the players on the back line to get an extra forward in the game for Dowling. Taken down by Haywood, who in the process takes down Collins, and that leads to a whistle on the foul, and I think we're going to see a card here on LaRon Haywood. It will be a yellow, and it will be a good opportunity for a free kick here for the Golden Lions.
Now, if you're LIU Post, you have to be careful and make sure that, you know, you don't pick up any red cards and play a man down the rest of the way. You're under 10 minutes to go now, so you want to continue to be physical, and you want to also continue to put pressure on, but you have to make sure that you keep your composure and not get any situations where the official would possibly give a red card to a player or another yellow card, which will put them a man down.
Cross sent into the box and cleared away with a bicycle kick there by Bowen, and chasing after it now is Turin for the Pioneers. Only one man back, and able to handle it there for Dowling along the back line was Sorbara. Ogu pressured by Forgard, and he picks his pocket there. Forgard up ahead is Ruiz, but he's well offside, and Forgard smartly doesn't pass it to him, just kind of clears the zone away. Looking up ahead for Ostbo, who is flagged for the offside, and Dowling's defense again taking a bit of a gamble there, Mike, as you talked about before, not going back on D, trying to bait the Pioneers to go offsides.
And the thing, like we said, is now it's crunch time, 9.5 minutes to go and counting, so you have to start taking risks that you normally would not be taking in the earlier stages of the match, because you have to do your best to pick up that equalizer.
Henton along the back for Craner, and Dowling will try to play through the back once again. Going to be a throw in here for the Pioneers. Taken down by Murphy. Now over to the right side. Get to Sorbara. Sending it in towards the box, looking for Murphy, the hero on Wednesday. For the post D with a nice clear of the zone, and up to pair Forgard. Forgard able to beat Thorson. Get it on the feet of Ivan Ostbo, the goal scorer. And up ahead for Turin. Semil Turin up the far side. He's taken down, no whistle on the play. Again, the officials letting these teams play here as things getting physical in the final 8 minutes.
That's a good job there by Rafael Sorbara.
Lystad up aggressively from right back to push the Dowling D back further.
And now you can hear John DeRico telling his team on the back line to push forward, push forward. So obviously they have to take a lot of risks here and try to establish any sort of momentum and scoring opportunities.
And we talked about it before, but both of these teams got some miracle goals in the final minutes. In the semifinals on Wednesday, it was Ryan Murphy for Dowling with under 3 minutes to play, and with just 2.8 seconds left for LIU Post, it was Jonathan Watkin to give them a 1-goal lead, and that's how both of these teams got to this championship game in the first place.
And you really feel bad for one of these teams, the way that they've been playing all season long, and into this match, back and forth we've gone, but you know, somebody has to obviously fall victim. But we were talking about the success, Kevin, that LIU Post has had at home. 25-1-2 since 2011, but it doesn't stop there. Just two more numbers. They're 15-0-1 in their last 16 games, But how about even better? Listen to this number, 41 games, their last 41 here. 35 wins, 4 losses, and 2 ties. That's an .854 win percentage. Just ridiculous numbers here on their home field.
Oscar Shellstrom comes in to replace Matias Ruiz. Shellstrom giving some more defense into the game for head coach Andreas Lindberg. He did it for the final 6.5 minutes. And the Dowling bench really starting to try to push their team forward and get them to be more aggressive offensively here, as they know time is winding down and possibly on their season. Of course, with a win, LIU Post, even without that automatic bid, going to go to the NCAA tournament, but this Dowling team, as you mentioned, is squarely on the bubble. And with a loss here, who knows, this could be the end of their season.
They really are on the bubble, but, you know, we were saying earlier that they've made a pretty good argument as to why they should possibly get considered for that bid. They have 11 wins against just 3 losses coming into this afternoon's match. And each one of those 11 wins has been quality wins. No cupcake matches on their schedule. So I think that's something to factor in as well.
Christensen back in for LIU Post. He replaces Per Forgard.
And now offense for defense here, Kevin, as Jose Herrera comes in replacing Bobby Craner. So obviously now more offensive-minded are the Golden Lions with just over 5 minutes remaining. You have to try to get a lot of their forwards into this match.
And Turin here playing it forward. Flag, though, once again goes up for an offsides, this time on Christensen. But I think the Pioneers are content with that, not going to be penalized for any offsides as long as they continue to have possession and have it offensively and prevent Dowling from getting any scoring chances. They do that for the final 5 minutes here. They're on their way to a victory.
Right, the clock is definitely the ally for the Pioneers and the enemy for the Golden Lions. It's a good job by the official there. The ball was sent down after the offside flag went up, and he stopped the clock. LIU Post just wants to do their best to play keep away. Obviously, if they could pick up an insurance goal, it'd be huge. But if they keep the ball on this side of the field, that means no opportunities for Dowling to get the equalizer.
And the Dowling bench again trying to encourage their team to play forward, as this ball from Herrera is sent well long, and Jorgensen will let it settle down before he scoops it up and takes some extra time off the clock.
You see that Herrera was trying to send Henton down on that pass there, but it was just a little too far. He looked like he had beaten the backline players, but he just wasn't able to corral it, as Jorgensen was able to come up with the easy save.
And played out of bounds there by Rafael Sorbara, but time winding down for the Dowling Golden Lions, trailing by 1 on an Ivan de Ostbo goal. 1-0. We now have under 4 minutes to play. LIU Post looking to go back-to-back and repeat as East Coast Conference champions. The Golden Lions looking to tie it for their first conference championship since 2010. Bjorno will throw it in on the far side.
Shots are 11-9 in favor of the Pioneers. Excuse me, in favor of the Golden Lions.
And LIU Post leading in the all-important category, of course, which is 1-0 on the scoreboard. Again on that goal from Osbo. Whistle blows is down on the field here. Clock will stop with 3:21 remaining. Can't quite see who it is that appears injured for Post. It might be Christensen.
And Kevin, you were talking about that just now. If you're Andreas Lindberg, this is an LIU Post offense that is very potent, averaging just over 19 shots per game. They have not even hit the double-digit mark yet with just over 3 minutes remaining. 9 shots on goal, but where it matters most, on the scoreboard, they lead 1-0. So, you know, Lindberg can't be too happy with the small size number of shots, but where, you know, the important thing is that he has the lead.
It was Bowen who was down, but he is back up and will remain in the game. Bowen's such a key cog in the defensive midfield for this Pioneer squad. Played up the right side, looking for Collins here for the Golden Lions. Gets it to Herrera in the midfield. He is taken down, and that'll draw a whistle. Clock is stopped. And we'll get a yellow card here. We'll see what will be called on as the official taking his book out. It's going to be,
Looks like
I
it's
believe,
going
on
against
Bowen.
Watkin. Could be Watkin. Watkins raising his hand saying it should be on him, or was he just signaling to his defense?
Bowen comes over and gets the yellow card
Good call,
from
Kevin.
Jorge Ramirez. Regardless, it doesn't necessarily matter how many yellows that Post gets at this point, as long as they are able to hang on to this 1-0 lead for the final 3 minutes. Everybody up on the edge of the box here for Dowling, as it will be Sean Collins to send in this free kick. Collins sends it towards the back post, headed away there by Ospo back defensively. He scores the goal, and there makes a real big defensive play.
That's why he's such a complete player.
Turin the other way for the Pioneers, looking for Christensen. Johan Christensen finds the back of the net with just 2:37 remaining. The conference's Rookie of the Year, and the Pioneers in transition take a 2-0 lead.
And that is an absolute backbreaker for the Golden Lions. Christensen getting the job done there. The ball was switched to the opposite side of the field. Christensen had a lot of room to run, Kevin. He kept possession as long as he could and then saw the opportunity and fired the shot into the back of the net past a diving Friedel to double the lead. A huge insurance goal there for the Pioneers, and they are starting to feel it now here at LIU Post.
And the Pioneers, with 2:37 left, going to get some substitutes in here as we'll get a look at the replay.
It all was started, as you said, with Ospo. Good long ball sent down here. It was on the right side, and the nice move towards the middle, and the cross was sent over to Christensen. Christensen just outside of the 18-yard line. It's a nice move towards the middle, and then bang, watch that shot right over the head of a diving Chris Friedel. And when you leave him room, he's going to take advantage.
So Christensen with the tally, his 11th of this season. Turin picks up the assist, his 7th. And the Pioneers just 2 minutes away from an ECC championship, their second consecutive.
And Kevin, like you said, was all started by Ospo, the offensive player of the year. He makes the play on the defensive end, and that's risk reward, like we were saying, for Dowling. They sent all of their defensive players up, and that created the opportunity once the ball was cleared for LIU Post to get what looked like essentially a 4-on-2 opportunity, and they took advantage. So Christensen, the ECC Rookie of the Year, gets the goal. Ospo, the Offensive Player of the Year, had the go-ahead goal in the match, and the Pioneers are 90 seconds away.
And we told you about those 6 representatives on the All-ECC teams, and certainly making their impact. It was Bjorno who set up the Ospo goal, and then the Rookie of the Year, Christensen. All 3 of those guys, conference's Offensive, Defensive, and Rookie of the Years, respectively, leading LIU Post here to what is, in about 80 seconds, looks to be another ECC championship. Dowling, though, not giving up quite yet, pushing all of their players forward. Lystad takes this one down. We'll play it for Turin, and the Pioneers just trying to play some keep away. Now under a minute to play.
Last minute of play in the second half, 1 minute.
Golden Lions are just running out of time here, Kevin.
Trying to send everybody forward, and Pioneers just trying to play keep away here. Of course, they don't need any more tallies as Jorgensen comes out to the edge of the 18, and that was dangerously close as he gloved that one down. Had to keep himself from going over the 18, of course. Cannot touch it with the hands, but just gonna boot it out here with now 37 seconds left. Up ahead looking for Turin, and Turin in here. Coming out to make a play is Friedel, and a whistle blows. And a card going to be drawn here on, I believe, Ryan Murphy. As things getting chippy, Murphy was the one back defensively there trying to cut down Turin. The Dowling bench.
See the replay here. Friedel comes down, makes the save. And the players that look to go down there after on that replay, both, it's very aggressive, and we're going to get a penalty kick here, Kevin. Looks like it's a penalty shot that will be taken.
So Bjorno here with 28.4 seconds left will get an opportunity on a penalty shot after Turin was taken down in the box.
Bjorno 3 for 3 this season.
And he's stopped by Friedel on the play rebound comes down, and it's poked home there by who else but Ivan Ospo, and the Pioneers take a 3-0 lead.
Fantastic save there by Friedel, timing his position greatly to the right there, stopping the penalty kick. First time this year that Bjorno has missed a penalty shot, but then everybody sort of froze, and then Bjorno was able to, Ospo was able to finish things off.
We'll get a look at the replay. As again, Ospo able to play it off of Friedel, and then somehow from a bizarre angle, able to find it into the back of the net. His second of the game and 23rd of this season. And Bjorno picks up his second assist. And the Pioneers take a 3-0 lead here, just 20 seconds left. 2 from Ospo, 1 from Johan Christensen, all 3 coming in the final 15 minutes. Here in the ECC Men's Soccer Championship, Jorgensen will hold on to this one. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And the LIU Post Pioneers are back-to-back champions in the East Coast Conference.
Well, congratulations to the LIU Post Pioneers, back-to-back East Coast Conference champions, and they are celebrating on the field here at home. They continue their dominance overall on this home field, just 1 loss in the last 3 years here, and it's back-to-back championships. Let's give a lot of kudos to the Dowling College Golden Lions as well for a hard-fought match, but it was just too much LIU Post late in this game, and congratulations to them, the 2013 East Coast Conference Men's Soccer Champions.
And what a physical game we had here today, Mike. Both of these teams going back and forth with some scoring chances. It really was just physical midfield, good hard soccer by both of these squads, and then in the second half, finally on that cross from Bjorno, Ospo able to head it in, and it just seemed like from there the floodgates opened for the Pioneers.
Well, like you were saying, Ospo was quiet throughout the first half and not too much action in the early stage of the second half. He was kept at bay, but you can only keep a good goal scorer at bay for such a period of time, and Ospo took advantage. And, you know, the second goal that really clinched it for the for the Pioneers, it was started as the Golden Lions were threatening on the offensive end. And that just shows why he is such a complete player in Ospo. He knocks the ball away and then creates the 4-on-2 opportunity on the other end.
All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll speak with the winning player and the winning head coach, Andreas Lindberg, here. The LIU Post Pioneers, back-to-back ECC champions with a 3-0 win over Dowling.
The East Coast Conference is committed to excellence both on and off the field. Member institutions are active in supporting their communities through service and fundraising projects, and our student athletes work hard to achieve in the classroom, preparing themselves for success after graduation. The ECC, home to 21 national championship teams, currently provides 17 championships in 10 sports and is committed to creating a positive game environment for all. The East Coast Conference, a proud member of NCAA Division II.
And a welcome back to LIU Post, the Pioneers with a 3-0 win in the ECC Championship game. Kevin Dexter, Mike Moore back with you, and as we talked about, Mike, this was a wild game. It was physical throughout, and both of these teams really deserved a win, if you could say that the way. You have to give a lot of credit to the way that this Dowling Golden Lions team was able to play, and Post just able to come away with the victory after that goal from Ospo, about 15 minutes left.
It was very quiet in the first half and through a majority of the second half. And as you said, just LIU Post late in the second half, taking advantage of the opportunities that were given to them. And like we said, no reason for the Dowling College Golden Lions to hang their heads. They have a lot to be proud about. They are, as we said, on the bubble here. And I really think they made a good case as to, you know, the committee for getting them an NCAA bid. So we'll see what happens. But right now, it's all about the LIU Post Pioneers, back-to-back East Coast Conference championships. And we want to congratulate them for a very spectacular championship match here, and they move on to the NCAA tournament. No automatic bid, but it's obvious that they're going to advance.
Certainly after the LIU Post Pioneers 17-1-2 on the season, they finish it out with this 3-0 win over Dowling, and we'll get the ECC trophy presentation here in just a minute from the conference commissioner as the Pioneers over on their bench getting their ECC Championship t-shirts. They'll take their team picture, and of course we'll have it all for you live here, and of course hope to speak with Andreas Lindberg, the head coach of the Pioneers, and also one of the players on this team after a 3-0 victory.
Well, we'll have the most outstanding player on the post-game show as well, and hasn't been announced yet, but I think we have an idea as to whom that player is going to be, but we'll wait for the official announcement. And you can see the Pioneers players celebrating right now.
And we'll take this time to remind you folks that the ECC Fantastic Fall Follow Contest, brought to you by Sports Authority, is back. All you have to do is follow the ECC Sports Authority and your favorite ECC school on Twitter for the chance to win an iPad mini, your Beats by Dre earbuds, or a $50 Sports Authority gift card. Log on to ECCSports.org for all the contest rules and information. And also remember, folks, between November 14th and December 19th, the ECC and Sports Authority are teaming up for a sneaker donation drive. Donate your old sneakers at the Sports Authority in Westbury, New York, and receive a 15% off coupon. All sneakers will be donated to One World Running, a nonprofit organization that donates shoes to those in need around the world. For more information, again, visit ECCSports.org.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin the award ceremony,
So, Kevin, one thing that we should start to consider now in terms of LIU Post, obviously with the championship here, they're going to advance to the NCAA tournament. But now the question is, based on the regional rankings, could they possibly be hosting a first or second round match right here, which would be huge for them because it's safe to say they never lose at home.
Right. I certainly think it's a possibility with a top 14 record, and we'll get the announcement here as the Pioneers are rewarded with their ECC Championship.
Dr. Bob Dranoff, the commissioner of the East Coast Conference, out on the field here, ready to present the Pioneers with the championship trophy and banner. Andreas Lindberg waiting for his Pioneers squad to take the field and acknowledge the crowd. Have the most outstanding player as well.
And Coach Lindberg out with LaRon Haywood, Ira Bjorno. Nice touch there as two senior captains out there to accept the trophy with him.
Just a great job there, and you look at the smiles on their faces. They know that this is a hard-fought season. These players have the long and arduous off-season getting ready, and then they have 2 days in the summer, and now this is the end result. This is such a gratifying trophy for them. It shows that all of the hard work that they put in, both on and off of the field, pays off.
As the Pioneers getting together for their group picture, the 2013 ECC Men's Soccer Champions.
Kevin, it seems like it's a little bit of a changing of the guard here. We've talked about how successful Dowling has been throughout the history of the East Coast Conference, and now this is the second consecutive championship for LIU Post, their third consecutive appearance in the championship match. And, you know, they're showing that right now they are the cream of the crop in terms of men's soccer in the East Coast Conference.
They certainly are. Back-to-back championships for the LIU Post Pioneers, and head coach Andreas Lindberg, who's been so successful in his 5 seasons. 71, 19, and 7 his record in 5 years here for the Pioneers.
And he also picked up his 100th victory, I believe, recently here as well.
Yes, actually on Wednesday, his 100th career victory, combining his career at LIU Southampton and LIU Post. And Per Forgaard announced as the ECC Tournament Most Valuable Player.
Congratulations to Forgaard there, the most outstanding player.
Forgaard, the 6'2 sophomore, had a big impact in this game, though didn't get on the score sheet. It was announced as Per Forgaard. And Mike will go head over and be joined by Per and head coach Andreas Lindberg here in just a second, and we'll get you some of the final stats from this match. Once again, the LIU Post Pioneers, a 3-0 victory over the Dowling Golden Lions. The number 1 seed in the tournament holds true as the Pioneers are back-to-back ECC champions. So again, the Pioneers posing for some photo ops. And Mike will be joined by head coach Lindberg.
Oh, Melissa, I forgot the number. I did it again. Yeah.
And Per Forgard here in just a minute. The 3 goals first came from Ospo on a nice cross from Eirik Bjorno. About 15 minutes to play, and then as Dowling started to turn up their pressure offensively, it was Ospo who got a clear off the line, able to spring LIU Post on what was a 4-on-2, and the rookie of the year in the conference, Johan Christensen, with a beautiful shot into the upper right-hand corner of the net to give the Pioneers a 2-0 lead. And then after Ospo was taken down in the box, it was a penalty kick taken by Bjorno. It was initially saved by Chris Friedel, but poked home by Ivan Ospo for his 2nd goal of the game, 23rd of the season. Now with 56 points in his junior season, an incredible year for the native of Stavanger, Norway, Ivan Ospo. And Per Forgard, again, didn't get on the score sheet.
I know.
Still, though, able to pick up the victory, as now Mike is joined by Per Forgard. We'll wait just a second before we throw it over to him to get some of their post-game reactions from the Pioneers. Again, 3-0 champions for the 2nd straight year here in the ECC. And Mike will be joined by Per, the most outstanding player, along with head coach Andreas Lindberg. Over on the opposite end of the field here as the rest of the Pioneers get some photo ops with the ECC Championship trophy. Pioneers finished this season 17-1-2. They were 8-0-2 in the ECC in the regular season, and Dowling 11-4-3. Again, as we talked about before, pretty much squarely on the bubble on whether they're not they're going to get themselves into the ECC tournament. To the NCAA tournament after their loss today, and no automatic bid for the Pioneers, but ranked number 14 in the country, just 1 loss. It's safe to say they'll not just get in, but do have a pretty good chance to have themselves a home game once again here at LIU Post. We'll see once the selection committee announces what the tournament will look like, who will get the home games. But again, it seems as if the Pioneers have a good shot to host one here at home, as Mike getting set over on the sideline.
So I'm here with yep.
We're off to a good start.
Number 9.
I was just going to jump right into it, but I can if you want me to. You want me to? Okay.
All right, we're going to join Mike Moore now, over with the most outstanding player, Per Forgard.
Hey,
Let her in.
Mike Moore joined by Avon Ospo here at LIU Post following the LIU Post Pioneers 3-0 victory over the Dowling College Golden Lions as the Pioneers repeat as 2013 East Coast Conference Men's Soccer Champions. Avon, first of all, congratulations on the victory. Thanks for joining us here. It was a very back-and-forth first-half affair. Defensively, the Golden Lions really focused on you and keeping you in check. So what adjustments did you make in the second half as you picked up the first goal that proved to be the game winner? What was the adjustment specifically that you made in the second half that allowed you the opportunity to come up with the victory?
I don't think we did any specific changes, but we just kept going. We played extremely well during the first half as well. We created a lot of chances, and in the second half we had the win coming with us instead of against us, which helped us a little bit, but we just managed to score.
Take us through that first goal, which again proved to be the game-winning goal in this match. It was an opportunity that was taken here in towards the middle. So just walk us through that scoring opportunity for you.
I think it was Samil got the ball to our left side, and he dribbled the guy and then put a cross into the back post. And I was lucky to head it in a battle against the defender. It was a good goal, very good goal.
And the second goal, which was a huge insurance goal for your team that was scored, you were the catalyst actually on the defensive end. The Golden Lions were knocking on the door to try to pick up the equalizer, and you knocked the ball away. So just tell us why you are such an integral part of this team, both offensively and defensively.
Defensively I'm just back on set pieces because I'm a quite tall guy, so I'm there to head it forward. And I managed, and Samil ran the whole field and passed to Johan, who scored. So it was a great relief for us, I guess, to get the second goal.
And the final goal of the match was your second goal of the match. Just take us through that one. It was a penalty kick that was deflected, and then you were in the right place at the right time.
Absolutely. Eric missed his penalty, and I took the rebound. So it was good to get the 3-0 victory here.
So you win the East Coast Conference regular season title. You were the 2013 Offensive Player of the Year, and your shirt says it all here, 2013 East Coast Conference Champions. Just give us your thoughts as you move forward in preparation for what most likely will be an NCAA tournament bid.
Yeah, hopefully we'll keep the pace as we have been this season and going into the national tournament, and we'll be able to hopefully go extremely far. We'll see, but it's going to be exciting.
And finally, I know you have a lot of family watching back home in Norway. Does anybody want to say hello to?
Of course, I want to say hello to my family and friends back home. Great to have you watch.
Well, congratulations on the victory this afternoon, and best of luck next week in the NCAA tournament.
Thank you.
That was Avon Ospo, the 2013 East Coast Conference Offensive Player of the Year. And now we'll bring in Andreas Lindberg, the head coach of the LIU Post Pioneers, joining us here. Coach, congratulations on the victory as you repeat as East Coast Conference Men's Soccer Champions. Just tell us, first of all, what adjustments did you make in the second half? It was a defensive-minded affair throughout, and the winning goal was scored late in the second half. So what adjustments did you make in the locker room as you got ready for the start of half number 2?
We actually didn't do too many adjustments. We thought we were doing pretty well in the first half. We possessed the ball well. I thought that we owned the first half. We didn't have any great chances, but we said that let's keep going in the second half, and eventually we're going to get a chance, and hopefully that we can score in that one.
And you talk about how you had the opportunity late in the match, and you had obviously a great job by Ospo, and you have the Offensive Player of the Year, you have the Defensive Player of the Year, the Rookie of the Year, you were the Coach of the Year, so you took 4 of the 5 major categories in terms of East Coast Conference awards. So just tell us about the performance of the entire team all season long.
Yeah, no, it's been great. We've had 3 years running now with a lot of success, and there's a lot of seniors on the team that's been here before, and they kind of get the job done. I'm just along for the ride, I feel. It's a great group of boys, and we've showed character throughout the years by being down a goal and coming back winning it, or getting a man sent off and playing man down and continuing to do well and continuing to win. We can't wait to get started in NCAA.
The elements were a factor here this afternoon, the wind and the sun especially, but just tell us, why do you think you've had so much success at home? You've had only 1 loss in a very long time, since 2010, and that was to Dowling as well. So can you just explain to us why it is such a tremendous home field advantage here at LIU Post?
Well, the grounds crew here do a phenomenal job with the grass field. It's a phenomenal grass field, and we're a possession-style team. We like to keep the ball. A lot of teams that we play away, they play on turf, and we have grass. That is an advantage. And also, it's our house. You know, nobody can come here and push us around. We want to continue to be a force to reckon with at home.
Coach, congratulations on the victory, back-to-back East Coast Conference championships, and good luck as you advance to the NCAA tournament next week.
Thanks for having us. Thanks.
And that was Andreas Lindberg, the head coach of the LIU Post Pioneers, as they pick up the 3-0 victory over the Dowling College Golden Lions, their second consecutive East Coast Conference Men's Soccer Championship. And they move forward now as they wait for the announcement of the pairings for the NCAA tournament, which will begin next week. And, you know, it might work out that the Pioneers might actually get a home game here next weekend, but we'll wait and see. For now, it's just preparation for them as they prepare for next weekend, the NCAA tournament. 3-0 the victory today over the third-seeded Dowling College Golden Lions. We want to congratulate the LIU Post Pioneers for their victory this afternoon as they get ready, as we said, for the tournament, which begins next week, as the Pioneers of LIU Post make it back-to-back East Coast Conference Men's Soccer Championships in 2012 and again in 2013, and they look to have even more success as they advance to the NCAA tournament that will begin next week. So following this now, we'll send it back over in a couple of minutes to Kevin Dexter. And Kevin is telling me to keep it here. Okay, so we'll wrap things up. I apologize for that. So we want to thank Andreas Lindberg for joining us here on the post-game show, and also for Avon Dorsbo for joining us as well. LIU Post makes it back-to-back East Coast Conference Soccer Championships, and we want to congratulate them as they pick up the 3-0 victory over the third-seeded Dowling College Golden Lions. For my broadcast partner, Kevin Dexter, and the rest of our entire crew here at the East Coast Conference Network, I'm Mike Moore saying thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll talk to you again real soon.